English. So today we're looking at introduction to drama. And at the end of the class, we'll define drama, we'll see some types of drama, and of course, elements of drama. But then remember in our last class, we talked about characters. We say characters are the human and non-human entities that carry out human roles in works of literature. Now we'll be looking at drama. What is drama? In fact, drama will remind you of a topic we did some time ago, Journeys of Literature, where we talked about the three categories of literature: play, prose, and poetry. Play is the same as drama, though there are some technical differences, play and drama. Now, what is drama? Drama is a derivative from a Greek word dran. D-R-A-N means to act, to pretend, to take up roles. Basically, that's what we do in drama. We take up roles because drama is a performing act. Is It has to do with recreation. So when we define literature as an art form that recreates, reenacts, or reevaluates the human experience, drama is that aspect of literature that reenacts the human experience. Talking about reenacting or recreating the human experience, you agree with me that drama will have elements such as characters, actions, stage, etc. So look at elements of drama. Elements of drama. What are those key features? What are those key things in drama that makes it dramatic? Now the first is character. Yes, like our last class, we said character implies the human and non-human entities that carry out roles. Carry out roles meaning dran again. Now, generally we refer to them as characters, but when it comes to drama, we refer to them as dramatist personas. Dramatist personas. Humans created by the dramatist himself. The next element of drama is action. Now, if we say drama means to pretend to carry out roles, the pretense and the carrying out of roles in drama is what we refer to as action. The next is stage. Where this action take place in drama is a stage, the elevated parts of the theater where literary actions are being carried out. Those pretending, where do they do their pretense and quotes? Where do they do their drama and quotes on the stage? Now, when they do their drama and pretense on stage, they do it before the audience. Number 4, audience, the people who watch the play, like the spectators. Then the next is the theater. Now, this audience, they find themselves in a building or a place where the drama is presented. That place is known as a theater. The next is the dialogue. Dialogue, a kind of exchange, spoken word or conversation between characters. So the characters don't just act in isolation like some dumb show. When they act, they back it with dialogue. So in a nutshell, dialogue is not complete unless there is or there are rather some corresponding action. The next is a setting. Setting to remind you of the place and the time literary events happens. The place of time literary events happens. The next is the plot. That is the arrangement of these actions. Since drama is all about actions, the arrangement of these actions is what we call the plots. Okay, so in sum, elements of drama or the major elements of drama are character, action, stage, audience, theater, dialogue, setting, and plots. Types of drama. I haven't said that about drama, definition, and all of that. What are the types of drama? Of course, we have several types of drama, but we'll look at a few of them, a handful of them, beginning with tragedy. Tragedy. What's tragedy? The word is even familiar. Oh, it's tragic. Oh, it's tragic. Familiar, right? But what we refer to as tragedy in drama is a serious play that ends sadly. Serious play. Now, serious in the sense that the subject matter is serious. The main character is elevated, the main character is special. He meets his downfall, and in most cases, he dies. Like the case of Romeo and Juliet in William Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. The next, comedy, a humorous play with a happy ending that entertains and makes the audience laugh. So while tragedy is a serious play, comedy is a humorous play. Now take note, comedy is also a serious play, but what makes it humorous is the fact that what's supposed to be serious is being trivialized. So the subject matter is serious, but we treat the subject matter lightly just because we want to entertain our audience and make them laugh. Again, comedy is meant to entertain, while tragedy is meant to teach us morals. But again, as literature, both comedy and tragedy will learn. So in tragedy, we cry and we learn, but in comedy, we laugh and learn. Tragicomedy the next. A blend of tragedy and comedy, meaning they are features of tragedy and they are also features of comedy. Now, tragicomedy, like comedy, ends happily. Even if there are some sad situations, the story will definitely end happily. Like a case, or the case in The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare, to Shylock is a tragedy, but to Antonio is a comedy. The next is farce. Farce is a genre of comedy, is a light, exaggerated, and funny play full of silly situations and actions. Now, it's a genre of comedy in the sense that it makes us laugh, but then we don't refer to it as comedy because comedy treats a serious matter trivially, but when it comes to farce, a trivial matter is treated seriously. Just in case you're asked the difference. Comedy treats serious matters trivially, but farce treats trivial matters seriously. So we laugh because something that's supposed to be treated trivially is treated seriously. And then we have number 5, melodrama, a play with strong emotions and exaggerated characters, often involving good versus evil. Often involving good versus evil. History play number 6, well, is self-explanatory. History play is a direct attempt to recreate history, a direct attempt to re-evaluate history. So this is history the way it is, then we decide to put it on stage for us to watch. Now when that happens, the attempt is to re-evaluate it, to criticize history. Next, monodrama or monologue. Now from the word mono, one, drama, meaning a play by a single character on stage, a single actor on stage, soliloquizing or trying to act out roles by several persons. So we have just one person rather, that acts out the role of father, mother, brother, sister, and all of that. There's this Nigerian comedian that does it better. Tao. Tao will act like the father. Tao will still act as a son. Tao will act as a daughter. Now, if we're going to have that on stage, it is referred to as a monodrama. Closet drama number 8. Of course, it's a play written to be read rather than performed on stage. So while others are written to be performed on stage before an audience, a closet drama is a play written to be read. So it's not meant to go upstage. Mime, pantomime, or dumb show is a performance that uses gesture and facial expression instead of words. Now, we do that most times in class. You guys will just mime out something, and your viewers or the audience will just say, look at what you're trying to say. You act out something, the next person say, look at what you're trying to say. That's a kind of dumb show. You don't say anything, you just act something out and you know what you're trying to do. Mr. Bean does that a lot. Well, maybe because naturally he doesn't talk. I don't know how true it is. The last time I checked, they said he's, doesn't talk. So he do more of pantomime and dumb show. Then the last is realistic drama. A drama that portrays real life situation and characters in a natural way. Realistic drama portrays real life situation and characters in a natural way. Recap: drama from the Greek word dran, don't forget, pretend, to take up roles and all of that. We have several elements of drama, but we looked at just 8: character, action, stage, audience, theater, dialogue, setting, and plot. Then on types of drama, we talked about tragedy, comedy, tragicomedy, farce, melodrama, history play, monodrama, closet drama, mime, pantomime, or dumb show, and the last but not the least is realistic drama. Okay, now there's something I want you guys to do.